Hello guys, welcome to Gate for Geeks. So in today's video, I'll be teaching you the topic reducibility of theory of computation. This is a very scoring topic yet an important one for Gate. But most of the students find this topic very difficult and get stuck in the question. I promise you that after watching the video you will be able to solve every question based on this topic. So watch the video carefully. First of all, let's have a quick understanding of what is reducibility, and then I will tell you some tricks to solve its question very easily and quickly. So first let's begin. So what is reducibility? Suppose you are given two problems P1 and P2, and if it is said that P1 is reducible to P2, writing like this means P1 is reducible to P2. P1 is reducible to P2, or we can also say convertible. Here we will use some converting algorithm to convert P1 into P2. What do we mean by reducibility then? So simply suppose when we are P1 is a problem for which we have some solutions, and P2 is another problem for which we have another solution. Now if we are able to convert P1 into problem P2, that is when we give some input to problem P1, suppose this is a problem P1 and we are giving some input to it and getting some output. Now if you have P2 problem and on giving same set of input, same instances which you were giving to P1, if you are able to get the same output from P2, then we can say that P1 is reducible to P2. Means P2 is a larger set, this is P2, and P1 is a smaller set. Just remember this to have the knowledge of reducibility. Not more than this is required. Now I will be telling you some tricks or some way to solve the question. So when it is given that P1 is reducible to P2, first of all do one thing. Write P1 in the left side, then make a arrow and then write P2 in the right side. Now this means P1 is reducible to P2. There are four important points that you have to remember. The left side, which you can say that this is the child and this is the parent. Left side always gives negativity to the right side. I am making negative sign. And right side, that is P2, will always give positivity to the left side. This thing will quickly get clear. Watch the video till end. Now what do we mean by this? Now I am writing positive for decidable and negative for undecidable. Now simply, if P1 is decidable, means if P1 is decidable, then you cannot say anything about P2, whether it will be decidable or undecidable. It can be anything. But if P1 is undecidable, then you can say with surety that P2 will also be undecidable, because P1 will always give negative thing towards P2. What is negative here? Undecidability is negative here. If P1 is decidable, it will not give anything to P2, means it will not make P2 decidable. P2 can be decidable and can be undecidable. But if it is undecidable, then for sure P2 will also be undecidable. So this is what we mean by negative thing. This is very easy trick to remember, that this side will always give negativity to P2 and this side will always give positivity to P1. Now you can all understand it very easily. If it is given in the question that P2 is undecidable, as undecidable is negative, it will not pass it back to P1. If P2 is undecidable, then we cannot say anything about P1, that P1 will be decidable or undecidable problem. But if it is given in the question that P2 is decidable, means P2 is positive, then it will immediately pass the positivity to P1 and we can say with surety that P1 will also be decidable. We will understand this thing more clearly with some examples. But before that, I will tell you some representation by which we can write the reducibility thing. Means in question you will find it written as like P1 P2. This symbol means P1 is reducible to P2. Sometime you will also find it like with am subscript, which means P1 is many to 1 reducible to P2. You will also find it P1 is reducible to P2 and many more representation. All of the representations means the same, that P1 is reducible to P2 means we have some algorithm by which we can convert P1 into P2, or by which all the inputs which we are passing to P1 are modified in such a way such that when it is given to P2 it will generate the same output. uh, Understand it like this. Suppose this is P1. Now when you are giving X to P1, we have some functionality which will modify this X to some another X, which will become X dash. Then this X dash will be passed to P2 problem, and this P2 then will produce the same output Y which was produced by P1 when X was passed to P1. Hence this functionality which is created in between, which is the converting algo, is making this possible that we are able to get the same output from P2 problem when the same input which was passing to P1 is modified and passed to P2. So this is the only thing which you have to understand about reducibility. More theoretical thing is not involved in this. Main thing is to solve the question which are more important for gate purpose. So let's solve some 2-3 questions related to it. Now let's quickly go through that 4 cases which I was telling you about. So consider this situation where P1 is reducible to P2. Now there are 4 cases possible. First, if it is given that P1 is decidable, then P2. Second, if P1 is undecidable, then what about P2? Third case, if P2 is decidable, then what about P1? And fourth case, if P2 is undecidable, then what about P1? So quickly solve this thing, or just remember this thing from the positive and negative concept. See, it is given in the question that P1 is reducible to P2 and P1 is decidable. Now as I told you, decidable is a positive thing and it is towards P1. So as P1 only passes negative thing towards P2, we cannot predict anything about P2 that it will be positive or negative. Means we cannot say anything that it will be decidable or undecidable. Hence either decidable or undecidable, both the things will be true. That is, we cannot predict. Second case, if P1 is undecidable, means if P1 is negative, then what is P2? So see this, undecidable is a negative thing, and if it is negative, then it will surely pass this thing to P2. Means if P1 is undecidable, then P2 will also be undecidable for sure. Third thing, if P2 is decidable, decidable is a positive thing and it will pass to P1, means P1 will also be decidable then. If P2 is undecidable, P2 and undecidable is negative, then we cannot say anything about P1. Hence in this case also either decidable or undecidable. So these are the four most important cases by which you can solve any difficult to difficult question based on this topic. So now let's solve some questions. So here is the question. It is given in the question that P1 is reducible to P2 and P2 is reducible to P3. Also given that P1 is decidable problem while P3 is an undecidable problem, and you have to predict about what will be P2, whether decidable or undecidable or nothing. So it is given P1 is decidable to P1 is reducible to P2 and P2 is reducible to P3. This will pass negativity and this will pass positivity. Negativity, positivity. Now from the first case given, we have given that P1 is decidable. If P1 is decidable and P1 is reducible to P2, then as it passes negativity and decidable is a positive thing, we cannot say anything about P2 whether it will be decidable or undecidable from the first case. Now it is also given that P3 is undecidable. If P3 is undecidable, and how P2 is related to P3? P2 is reducible to P3 and P3 is undecidable. Then also we cannot predict whether P2 will be decidable or undecidable, because P3 passes positivity only to P2. Hence the answer will be either decidable or undecidable. Now let's see one more question. Now see the next question. It is given that L1 is reducible to L2 and L2 is reducible to L3. So let's write first. L1 is reducible to L2 and L2 is reducible to L3. Now in the first part of the question it is given that L2 is decidable. Now if L2 is decidable, then it will pass positivity to previous problem, hence L1 will also be decidable. And what about L3? Here L2 is coming at left side and L2 is decidable, but if it was undecidable then only L3 will be undecidable, but as it is decidable we cannot say anything about L3, hence either decidable or undecidable. Now in the second part of the question it is given that L2 is undecidable. As L2 is undecidable, we cannot pass negative thing towards L1, hence we cannot predict anything about L1, so it will be either decidable or undecidable. And for L3, as L2 is undecidable, it will pass negativity towards L3 and hence L3 will also be undecidable. So guys, I hope you understood this positive and negative concept very well. This is very important thing to remember, and with this thing, if you understand this concept well, you will be able to solve any difficult question based on this topic. And seriously guys, very much questions come in GATE from this topic, and these questions are really very scoring.